Hey folks, we are back for more Scottish Gaelic Tattoo Handbook today, and we are going to be working on, drumroll, the by the books screen right here. So let me go ahead and pull up the editor and we'll get started. Alright, so we open main, got storyboard. Okay. Let's go see. Alright, so where's your menu? Here's your menu. What we are going to do is we're going to go to this by the books label, and we are actually going to change it out for a button. Just going to go right there. We're going to delete the by the books label, and then we're going to name this by the books. Text is also going to be by the books. So let me click on the button, click on the attributes inspector, and name it by the books. Great. So now we're going to do very much what we did with about the author, and it's going to be the same type of segue, which is a show or push segue. So let's get our view controller. Let me open the object library, view controller. Yeah. Now we're going to control drag from by the books to our view controller. Like so, and we want it to be a show segue, and you can see that the symbols on these two are the same, which means we're going to get our back button, which is nice. Okay, let's take a look at our design for this. We have our 3 images, some text, and then buy on Amazon.com. Great. So let's go ahead and insert well, let's look. Does it need to scroll? It doesn't need to scroll. Cool. So let's start with our image views. So it's going to be like that, kind of, approximately. And then I'm going to copy it. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Image view. So I'm going to make some more of them. Move them around. Actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this one a little smaller. Yeah, like that. And then I'm going to copy and paste that. So they're going to be kind of like that. Ish. Great, so now let's go to our assets. And we need to import some assets. Let's take a look again. So we got Scottish Gaelic, Irish Gaelic, and then some guy. Sweet. We'll make a new one. Scottish Gaelic tattoo handbook. And then I'm going to go over to my Finder and I'm going to get it. This is what it looks like. So let me make this a little bit smaller. Pull that in. Boom, boom, boom. Beautiful. New image set. This time we're doing Irish. Trying to double click on this to get it so I can edit the name. Maybe if I do it here. Garrett tattoo. There we go. I'm going to pull this one in. Beautiful. New image set. Book page portrait. I'm going to say book page portrait because I feel like if I name this image some guy, I'm going to be in trouble. Perfect. Now we're going to go back to our main.storyboard. This one is going to be Scottish Gaelic Tattoo Handbook. Boom. This one is going to be the portrait one. And this one is going to be the Irish one. And I want this one on top. So I'm going to drag that down. How much of each is visible? Like to the O in the first O in tattoo. Like that, kind of. So let's do this. What I would like to do is I would like to embed all of those in a view. So I'm going to embed in a view like that, and I'm going to name it Book Pile View. Beautiful. Great. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set its constraints. Let's take a look at this again. Okay. So we're going to say this goes up here. And then we're going to set its constraints. I'm going to add 3 constraints. And then we'll worry about the bottom in a second. Let's run and see what we've got. Now it's worth noting we're also going to have to constrain all those subviews. Okay. By the books. Figure out why that happened here in a second. Okay, that doesn't look so bad. What about this? Oh, right, we're locking it before it. Okay, could be worse. Let's see also what it would look like on a teeny phone right now. So we go to preview and we add a little 4S. And there it is. Obviously, doesn't look so great. So here's what we're going to do. This one, we're going to constrain like so. So first of all, we're going to align it horizontally and vertically in its container. And we are also going to say its top and bottom. Its top space to the container is what it is. and its bottom space to the container is what it is. Then we're also going to constrain its aspect ratio. Here. So it's always going to stay like this book shape. Cool. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to book pile view. And I want its aspect ratio also constrained. There we go. Much better already. Now this one, book page thing, I'm going to do the same thing and give it its top space to the container, give it its bottom space to the container, and constrain the aspect ratio, which I can never remember which of these things it is, to keep it always the same shape. Finally, I want its trailing space to the container to be 37. So I do want the top space and the bottom space to be the same. So here's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to make this 45. Okay. I'm going to make this 45. So this is going to make our image slightly bigger. And then I'll make that 40. I don't think we want to leave it at 40, but that's like a place to start. How far out is it? Yeah, you can just see the guy's like profile. The individual's profile. Alright, so now we're going to come over here. We're going to constrain this thing's top space. We're going to constrain its bottom space. We're going to constrain its leading edge. We'll fix that in a second. And then I want its aspect ratio also preserved. Okay, so top space, once again, 45. Bottom space, once again, 45. Aspect ratio is fine. This is not right. So if I make that 0, what happens? See, this isn't quite right. Because I want I guess maybe it is right. I want these two the same. So I don't like this one at all. So what I'm going to say is Irish Gaelic Tattoo Handbook.leading needs to be I'm going to remove that in a second, but I want to look at the others. So I'm looking for where the portrait stuff is. Trailing equals book page portrait dot trailing plus 40. Yeah, so here I would like to reverse the first and second item. It'll just make me feel better. Alright. I don't know. I feel like I'm making this left one stick out more than the right one, but I also feel like it like sort of needs to. That's the problem. This is all related to the home view. Let's see about our, yeah. You want it to be, if you're telling me, okay, hold on. So if we click on that, and then we go look at the constraints again. I got a question. What happens if we do minus 10 here, which I'm not necessarily advocating for, but I'm looking at the previews. I need to move the Scottish Gaelic Tattoo Handbook to the bottom again, apparently. We're going to figure out what that button press situation is about. This needs to meet this. Needs to be on top. It should be already. See how that puts it at the back? And this brings it to the front? Oh, well, why did that just change everything? I think I have an idea of why that rate the app thing is happening. Get going. Alright, so we got a starting point here on this. Oh my gosh, what is happening? Alright, let's make it bigger again. Make this smaller. Beautiful. Okay, so now I want to label those here. Let's change some attributes on that. So let's make the text size 20. Let's center it. Set the number of lines to 0. And then type some text in that bad boy. It's supposed to say the Scottish Gaelic Tattoo Handbook. Actually, lines can be 1 for now. We'll get back to that. And then for the font, we want to use whatever the font is of the other. Here, let's take a look. Home. We want to use that font. Whatever font that label is using. That one. Heffler 28. Cool. That. Custom. Anybody see Heffler? There it is. Looks like it needs to be a little bigger. There we go. Cool. Give it a little bit of space here. What we're going to do is we're going to constrain it, the vertical spacing there, and then also on this one we're going to do centering it horizontally. So we're going to do that same thing now, except this is going to be plain. So we'll just go with system here. Alright, I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to make a new label. There we go. Let's say 18. We'll say center. 0 lines. That big. The Ultimate Think Before You Ink Guide to Gaelic Tattoos, written by a Gaelic specialist in Nova Scotia. Cool. The, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. The Ultimate, oh my gosh. Think Before You Ink Guide to Gaelic Tattoos, written by a Gaelic specialist in Nova Scotia. Cool. Now I know that looks ridiculous on the preview, but let's look at it in the simulator and see how it looks. Alright, now we're going to give it constraints on either side. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over here and yank this thing in to a reasonable width, like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to constrain it there, and then I'm going to do that. It's like so. Okay, so first of all, it's too tall. Great. Trailing space. Leading space. Vertical. Oops. Vertical spacing. Yeah, okay. And so then instead of black, I also want it to be like a slate. I think that's what it looks like it is this slate. And then also this one has to be that slate color. And then $9.99. So copy that. Paste it down here. We're going to say $9.99. Does it say $9.99? Yeah. And so what we're going to do is we are going to center that horizontally in the container. And then we're going to give it a vertical spacing constraint. Let's see how all that looks. These also font sizes might need to change. All right, not bad, not bad. Cool. And then in the home view controller, we already have this like check out our site thing. So rather than say, look at our thing on Amazon, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this check out our site thing. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to paste what that looks like. Yeah. And then I'm going to change this to by the book. And we'll talk about where to buy the book here in a second. What I'm going to do is say, center that horizontally in the safe area. I'm not 100% understanding where the views are. Oh, I see, it doesn't have a height. Well, we'll give it one. So we can see it. Oh, now it's all gone. Alright, let's try 200. No, I can't see it at all still either. Well, let's look at this one. Because this one I like. What happens if I copy and paste it? Like, suppose I delete that. And then we come back over here. And I have this book file view. Then I have these three things. And then I put it there. So that works a lot better. Alright, so now I'm going to get that vertical spacing right. This, I'm going to give 0 lines. I'm going to pull in its width. I'm going to say, it's supposed to say by the book. Let's get our preview thing up again for a 4S. Yeah. we go. It's too short. Yeah, this is going to have to be embedded in a scroll view. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, behave. All right, so this thing is going to have its leading space and its trailing space. Now I'm going to look at those. I don't think this is exactly what I wanted, so I'm going to get rid of those two constraints. And this, I'm going to make sure is centered horizontally. And this, all right, well that confuses me. Let's see how it looks on a simulator right now. All right, so this needs, what is its width? We're going to rename this, by the way, by the book view. And we're going to say, I mean that much. And these are all the constraints within inside of it, as you can see. And those look good. And then I want it to have constraints to the outside too. So let's do by the book. To the safe area. Why is setting the leading edge constraint messing with the trailing edge? Let's see how that looks. We may also need to make it so that the title wraps for the smaller phones. Stop. Alright, that's better. So now we come back to this and have the title wrap on smaller phones. I'm going to set its leading edge and its trailing edge. There we go. And it's already centered, so I don't have to worry about those not being the same. Now what I want to do is take all these and embed them in. What I want to do is see if I can just embed them in a scroll view full stop, but before I do that, let's add what we've already done. Creating by the book page. Alright, now let's embed this in a scroll view and see what happens. Whoa, everything got all messed up. So I'm going to undo that. What happens if we embed in stack view? And then what we need to do is we need to constrain the stack view to the safe area. Better. And then this needs a height, or else it sort of like tries to fill the available space. How does 30 look? Great. Let's give this a height. It's not going to be quite enough. We'll give it 100. Let's go here and take a look at the Constraining the Size inspector. What happens if we make it twice as tall? Its leading edge to the stack view and its trailing edge to the stack view needs to be set, because the leading space needs to be more like 20. Yeah, and then due to being centered, the trailing space will follow. Let's give this a height. And let's give this thing a height of 80. Let's give this thing, what do you think, 300? How does that look? Take a look at this thing's constraints. I want the lion head centered vertically in its container. I also want by the book centered vertically in its container. There we go. Alright, let's run it and see how it looks. Alright, not great. I have an idea. So the stack view, let's go to the attributes inspector on the stack view itself. I'm going to set that spacing rather than 22. We're going to set it to 10. And I want the distribution what is equal somewhere in there? I don't like that. We're going to say nope. Cool. And then is also quite messed up. So we'll have to figure that out. See how it looks now. All right, so before we move on with this, I want to fix that button issue. So what's happening is the rate the app button is being triggered on the menu screen. So here's what I'm actually going to do. Git stash. See how we look right now. Not terrible. All right. So the reason that that's coming up is when we hit this rate the app button. That happens, but because we're on this screen, that comes up whenever a button event is sent. And so what we have to do is we have to put a tag on this specific button and then check for that in our code itself. So we're going to give it a tag. All right, it has a tag of 0. I can make it anything. So here's what I'm going to say. Rate the app as the tag there. I think I hit these buttons. Has to be an integer. All right, we're going to leave it at, let's see, it's going to go 0, 1. Probably the expectation is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to make it 2. 0, 1, 2. Then we're going to explain that in our code. So over in our menu view controller, here, so it says did tap to rate. And let's see, that's something I have access to. So we're going to do enum button tag. That's going to, it's going to go like this, and they're going to be called about the author, contact rate by copyright. About the author, contact rate the app by the book copyright. This is going to be int. Like that. And these are going to automatically be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the problem? All right, this is what I'm going to do. Swift enum extends integer. What have I done? Oh, I see. I have to put case. Case about the author. Contact rate the app by the book copyright. There we go. So what we're going to say is if sender.tag equals button tag.rate the app, then do this. Let's run it and see how it does. If let button pressed equal sender dot tag as UI button let button dot tag. Just like that. It has to be a button in order for the tag to be available. Whoa, 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 whoa. There we go. It's very upset with me. Initializer has to be optional in order to do if let. I think this is a holdover from previous syntactic snafus. If let what don't I know? If this and if that, then do this. Does it build them? No. Button pressed. Not just regular old button. Cannot convert value of type. To expected argument type. Int. Maybe this has to be raw value. Alright, so now if I hit buy the books, yeah, now I don't see that. When I hit rate the app, I do see it. Perfect. Excellent. Good. Yes. That is less annoying. So I want to combine these two. Let me see if I can do if let button pressed equals sender's UI button. There. Let's do this. Multiple conditions. Example. Sometimes it can be tough to recall the exact syntax when you've been switching between languages. I mean, I know about the and the or. That's not what I'm actually trying to get at. It's also not what it is. Although, can I do that? Does that compile? There's an extraneous. If let button pressed is. I'm going to get rid of that. These two so I can see. Let's do this. Swift, assert, condition, on, optional, binding. This is not going to be it. Let's try this. I don't have high hopes. Swift condition multiple clauses. Minus and. Yeah, there we go. Alright, let's see. So it looks like we may only be able to do it on specifically optional binding clauses. And then oh, we may not need the let at all. Like we don't need that. Is that what it is? No. Actually, maybe. It looks like I just got something wrong. So this goes to that bracket. This goes to that. And it should go all the way to the top level. This comes out. Let's try that. There we go. So now I have my multi-clause conditional there. Perfect, still works. Excellent, still works. So I'm going to commit that. Git status. Git add already tracked files. Git commit. And what I'm doing here is only show app rating panel if rate the app button is the one pressed on menu screen. Great. I'm going to push those up. Alright, I'm going to adjudicate that later. In the meantime, git log -2 -1 line. These should be our last two commits. I'm going to do one thing. I want to change the commit message on the second one down. So what I'm going to do is change my wording on that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say add by the book page and navigate there from the menu. Screen, I guess I should be consistent in whether I say page or screen. Escape : right, quit, could not execute. Git rebase. Continue. There we go. Git log -2 -1 line. There, that looks more professional. Now, hop back over. What the? Git status. Because it looks like all these changes are now I should already be on this commit. What did I do? Just discard those changes? Git reflog. Oh, I bet I squashed down somehow. I didn't do this right. Alright, so I'm looking at my interactive rebase here. And I want to go there. Git checkout at 6. Git branch. Git status. And if I click here, there's the changes. Alright, so now what I want to do is back up and to a specific spot in the reflog Git. So here's the thing about Git, is your changes are never gone if you committed them, unless you do very specific things, which is very hard to do by accident. Alright, I don't need this 101 level description. Branch. So I want to point main at that SHA, point a branch at a SHA Git. Let's try it. Git reset there. Git status. Git log -2 -1 line. Everything should be back as it was. Yes. Okay. This time we're going to do the interactive rebase properly and not discard crap. Git rebase interactive. Give me the last two. I'm going to reword that one. That's all I want to do. Did I accidentally remove that? Okay, create the, oh no, by the book page to visit from the menu. We literally just had this discussion about page and screen, Chelsea, correct. Screen. You're currently editing the commit while rebasing the branch. The next command is going to be this one. And then we need to make sure that it happens. Could not apply this one. So this is what it was, is I like flew past this, and it's actually important. Error. Your local changes to the following files will be overwritten by merge. Please commit your changes or stash them before you merge. Git status. I have nothing to stash. It has been rescheduled. To edit the command before continuing, please edit the to-do list first. Okay, git rebase, edit, to do. That's what I want. Yes. Git rebase, continue. Git log 1. Not applied. What the hell? Alright, this is where we are going to learn about rebasing. Git interactive rebase. I already feel like this is not going to solve our problem, but I'm going to look at it. You know what we might be able to do? Okay. Git log -1. Git cherry pick that. Nothing added to commit, but untracked files present. The previous cherry pick is now empty, possibly due to conflict resolution. Alright, I'm going to cheat here. This is what I'm going to do. This is literally all I wanted. Why wouldn't it work? Alright, git, nope. Git checkout. There. Alright. I'm going to steal all of that. Git branch. Git checkout main. Git log -1. This is all going to be, it's not messed up. Oh, the reason that it is not messed up is that we've not done the interactive rebase. Git log. -2 -1 line. Oh, it works now? Git branch. Well, why is it working now? It's fine now. You've got to be kidding me. I just scared half the internet by, I thought, messing up an interactive rebase, but now it works. One day, I promise, we'll do a whole stream just on interactive rebase because it's a really powerful tool. And I'm fully aware that the last 8 minutes, like, totally didn't sell it. But trust me, I'm sure it was user error. I'm sure it was me. It's a powerful tool. Rate the app. Gets our thing working. Buy the books. Does not do that pop-up. That's what I want. This is clear. It's not just a random number. Yes. Okay. Push. It's going to tell me it can't. I think this is because I updated the README. So I'm going to pull and rebase. Now git log -3 -1 line. Let's just see what we pulled in. Yeah, updating the README. Man, I'm just freaking y'all out today. I am so sorry. Alright, that was all. I updated the README on GitHub, and so and that creates a commit, and locally I didn't have that commit, that's why it didn't want me to push. Then when I rebased, I got the update to the README, and was able to push just fine, and everything appears to be working fine now, in spite of my best efforts to ruin everything. Beautiful! That's just beautiful. Alright, so let's take a look at the next thing that this is supposed to do. I don't know if I'm going to completely get through it today. But so this, okay, hold on. Let me just back out of here for you so you can see this a little better. Goodbye. So when I click on this button, I'm supposed to get this thing up. Right? And so I have objections, moral, ethical objections to defaulting to Amazon as the place to purchase things, and I happen to know that this client is not opinionated about Amazon being the choice here. So I'm going to see if it's not available through the independent publisher themselves and link to that first. So Braden, yes, static, Yellow, Paseo on the book. All right, here we go. Can you purchase it from here? Special order paperback from your favorite bookstore. You can buy it wholesale. All these distributors. This looks promising. So will people buy it from here versus Amazon? Not sure. I was hoping they had like an independent, like you could buy it on this site. Pretty sure this is going to be the page that we were just on. Alright, well, maybe we'll have it linked to Amazon, but I'm not putting Amazon's logo on the button. And then we'll come back and that can be a longer discussion at another point. So this button is now going to do something. And what I want to point out is that what this button is going to do is it's going to use a very similar drawer like thing to what this uses. And so what I would like to do is repurpose that functionality. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to leave that for the next stream, because we've been streaming for about an hour. And what we'll do is we'll take a crack at actually pulling that logic out of the home view controller. And we'll take a crack at pulling that out of the home view controller and seeing if we can't implement like a common, import a common custom view into both of our view controllers that are going to be using this drawer logic. So that'll be next time, and I will catch you in the next stream.